Do you have app ideas, or are you looking for an app idea? In this video, I'm going to tell you about a brand new app idea that I just came up with. I don't know if it's got any market value yet, but it's combining two different things that I'm leveraging in two of my apps. So I have an app called Super Easy Timer, and I'm in the process of updating the UI for that app. So I can type 25 minutes and it starts a 25-minute countdown. So we can see that right here. I can resize it. I can go full screen and I can exit out of that and then make it tiny. I had some customers that wanted it smaller. So then I started prototyping a UI update in Swift UI. Doing this. This one's not hooked up yet, but this lets me like resize to get it super small. Right now the controls then get super wonky once you do that, but I do hide UI so that you could potentially position this wherever you want it. Now it gets a little bit harder to manage when it's that tiny, so I might need to set a minimum height of like this, which would still be like less than half as big width and height wise, which I think is a win. And then I do auto hide the controls when you are no longer hovering over it. So I think that's a pretty clean approach. And then the other thing that I was playing around with was window snapping. So it will snap underneath this bar at the top. If you put it in the corner, it will snap to the corner. Depending on how many apps you have open, you're not going to see it potentially clash. If I close a couple more of these apps, maybe. We'll see that there. And, okay, yeah. So this is just sort of me playing with this timer, just getting it sort of functional. There is a countdown right here over that temporary app icon. I was playing around with, can I render out dynamic icon rather than having the static icon? Okay, so that's like the first idea is I've got this window snapping behavior on the edges, which is kind of essential when you want to get something out of the way. Because when it's too small, it becomes harder and harder to interact with, but maybe that's okay. If I had global keyboard shortcuts for starting and stopping, then those buttons could auto hide so that they're not clashing. And then I would have to unify the, currently the text you would type in here, and then you would press enter and it would do whatever you're doing here. So 25 minutes would then show as, it would just auto hide or something. So it's not clashing. So that's one idea. But I got a question from Michael, and he's beta testing my new Super Easy Slideshow app, which has related features where I want to display stuff on top of everything. The other thing I haven't shown is that these two timers will display on top of content, but only this new one will actually display, because I figured it out and I did a video about this. This will display on top of even full screen apps. So if I go over to Safari and I full screen Safari, we now have the ability to have a timer, which I should be able to position here. I don't know if the window snapping, the window snapping will work. And so now you can have your timer always on the same display. You can still, I think, interact with it. So we could update this to 30 minutes. If this was fully functional, we would see that update. Right now, it's just a prototype on the UI itself. So it's not actually triggering any of the timer logic. So that's kind of, I think, the direction for this new app. And the question was, can we reposition the full screen overlay? And so this app has a full screen overlay for doing slideshows. So I can just sort of cycle through slides. This made me think maybe there's an interesting idea here of having some notes on the screen that look good or something that we can reposition. So I made it so that this view could be repositioned, and currently there's no window snapping. So I can put it wherever I want. It's not going to change its position. It's always going to be on top of other content. I don't know if this other window will be on top of it. Nope, it looks like this is on top of everything. So that's good to know. I might need to adjust Super Easy Timer to be on top of that. Maybe that will help me get above this bar for the people that want it to snap above the bar. So, but that made me think that, like, if you wanted to, can I hide others? If you wanted to focus on content while you're talking about something, move something around screen, have some notes, maybe something that you can modify and start, you could type something and have it update here. That might be kind of cool to off-screen update it, or just to edit it in line here could also be cool. So that's kind of what I was thinking, is it might be nice to have some stickies that are always on screen, that you can just move to either side to a different screen. If you go into full screen modes, it would just always be in front of you. So that's kind of the app idea. Let me know in the comments down below if this is interesting. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another developer update. This is just an app idea. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.